People should learn about SAP task lists to help automate procedures in such things as work orders for corrective and preventative maintenance. My name is Greg Olnick. I'll be an instructor for this course. And you can learn more about me in the course, and you can read through the slide. So the template idea of task lists is essentially that you wouldn't manually create a resume. You'd use a template for things like resumes, checklists, job aids, maintenance and operating manuals. So you have the template so you don't have to do all the repetitive work in terms of putting in the headers, footers, and all that kind of work. And same thing for work orders. For work orders, all the effort that has to go into creating a work order, like all the putting in all the planned parts, the labor, all of that, the job aids, procedures, permits, and so on, all that can be put into a task list. And you just call that task list either automatically, like preventative maintenance, or for corrective when you have like predictable breakdowns or failures, so that you get the right part, right time, and the work order is planned properly. Emergency work in itself is more costly and less safe because people forget to do things, like they forget to attach required job safety procedures, or they forget to print out the permits, like fire watch, hatch watch, asbestos, if you're dealing with asbestos removal, that kind of thing. So those permits are essential, and if they're forgotten, it's like for penalties, and sometimes the job just can't get started. So there's a lot of problems with that. So it can automate all that required data by putting it into a task list. So oftentimes also the wrong parts are ordered. In emergency, people are panicking. We have this one guy, people thought of him as a hero because when a motor breakdown, he had ordered a couple different motors, and then the one that would fit, he would install that and he'd be the hero. And the other ones that he found out later that he was just throwing them in the metal bin. So all that wasted money over the years, till that they found out what was going on. And he just didn't know how to search parts properly. Parts in the warehouse weren't identified in much detail, the frame information and so on. So it was a comedy of errors. So this course will cover a variety of things about the proper use of task lists and how to actually plan them. It's very similar to planning a work order. And my philosophy is you teach a planner first how to plan a task list. So when they're in a situation where they know it's going to be a repetitive kind of work, and they can create the task list first and then automatically pull it into a work order. So you take a little bit of time to save lots of time in the future. If you have a task list against an equipment or functional location, I'm going to create a work order, say emergency work order to that asset. So I'm going to go create order. Also, it can be triggered when a notification is turned into a work order, that it will prompt you to use the task list. Manually planning a work order, you have to go into the operation tab, put all the operation, the labor, how many people, what trade, and all that, and all the components and so on. You can have it so that as soon as the work order comes on the screen, it prompts you with all the task lists available associated to that functional location, that equipment, or the assembly on that equipment. So in this case, I'm going to manually pull it in to reference object. And so this is what a lot of companies have automatically pop up. So these are the kind of task lists that are available for you to use on this break-in work. So in this case, I'll pick this one, and I'm going to adopt all the operations in that one. So these operations are properly planned with it. They're two operations that are start-to-start relationship. So all that complexity can already be preset. So that's for the two operations, and they already have components assigned and PRTs, which are the job safety procedures. So I can show you the components that are assigned to that. It can be like the actual pump to replace, or parts that are required every time that kind of work happens. So it sure beats doing all this manually. All the labor is planned for how many people, how many hours, and so on. The proper work center and everything. So all you have to do is validate that everything's came in properly, and then if you're doing emergency work order and you have authority, you would put it in process, release it, or whatever your business process entails. So it's just that easy. And of course, that could be automated for PMs, like for automatic preventative maintenance work orders. Task lists are essentially a huge time saver, and it will promote accuracy. It'll encourage best practices in planning and scheduling work. That's a quick overview of this course. Hope you sign up and enjoy the course. Thank you.